Greetings from snowy Camp Dawson, guys. I want to do a quick video this morning on some of the, I don't want to say questions, but we had a couple of things come through yesterday about what we call the carb flu. So some of you guys are experiencing carbohydrate cravings, maybe fatigue, can be headaches, just general tiredness, things of that nature. And that is because your body basically was not adapted, but addicted to sugar. And what I mean by that was you were probably in that vicious cycle of, eat carbohydrates, a few hours later, eat more carbohydrates, a few hours later, eat carbohydrates. And if you don't have those carbohydrates, you kind of get, shaky. And if you're a non-diabetic, when you get shaky, guys, that is just the fact that your blood sugars are running on the lower end of normal, and it was just the body was used to you every time you got a little fatigue or low in blood sugar in the bloodstream, you would necessarily eat more carbohydrate, okay? And the issue with that is, you hear, well, you need to keep your blood sugar stable, but the problem is you are overeating carbohydrate, and every time that you eat the carbohydrate, you have your pancreas produces insulin. And insulin was remaining high while the blood sugar started to drop low. When insulin's high, it is pushing things into your muscle cells, into your liver cells, which doesn't allow you to get the stored sugar out of those storage units. So the only energy source and the only access to blood sugar we have then is to consume it from the diet, okay? It takes a few days for your insulin levels actually to lower. Okay, so if you're what we call the train wreck, before eating 300, 400, 500 grams of carbohydrate, which unfortunately some of you guys were, especially even maybe if you weren't every day leading up to, I'm going to start this challenge, and we had the holiday weekends there, it's easy to consume 300, 400, 500, even more carbohydrates. So your insulin levels were probably elevated when you guys started on Monday or Tuesday, and it takes time for those insulin levels to actually lower. Where insulin's a hormone, it takes, the half-life is a lot longer than, say, your blood sugars. So for example, when you eat a meal, your blood sugars are going to spike fairly quickly, and then they're going to drop fairly quickly. That's like a reason that an hour and a half post, say, a pancake breakfast, you're tired, you're fatigued, you're craving more carbohydrate. Okay, so some tips to trade to that is it will pass. Okay, most of you guys are probably in it right now. By the weekend, you're going to be free, fine, you're not going to have any issues. But the other thing that I encourage you to do is actually to increase salt in your diet. I'm a big fan of pink Himalayan salt. The reason for that is when you're having these decrease in sodium levels and you're losing a little bit of water weight because you're depleting your muscle glycogen, you guys will lose a lot of sodium and potassium out of the diet, okay? So I recommend adding some salt into the diet, and then actually the magnesium that we recommend at night will help with not only the cravings, but also the headache and the fatigue that you guys may be experiencing during the first few days, okay? It will pass, don't stress about it, but you may not feel the best these first few days. From the exercise standpoint, just keep your exercise to a moderate intensity. Try maybe not to kill the effort and the intensity this first week. And if you're just hearing this and you're just kind of starting, these are good things to know. Take it easy the first week, increase salt in the diet, increase your magnesium via supplementation, and those will all help with the carbohydrate cravings, okay? I did see someone mention, and you guys will find this, and it's why we run the 8-week program down each week. I feel like there's a certain amount of carbohydrate load that not only works for weight loss, but also where you don't crave carbohydrates. So some of you guys may still be craving here in the first few weeks, but when we get into week 3 and 4, you notice that those cravings completely disappear. It's good to make note of that, because that might be your carbohydrate load that's going to work best for you, going forward. Okay, guys, I'll have the supplement video up later today. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to post to the video. Take care.